Does anybody have interest in Josh Anderson?
He put up good boxcars on a really dog shit team.
Yeah, they were awful.
And that will always leave me intrigued. I watched him a lot in Columbus, and when he's going, he's good. Like, he's this big body. He moves, and he knows how to use his size. And
listed at 6'3", 230, Tyler.
Like, he can score. I think he's got a bit of that meanness in him, too. Like, there's so many things that are really, really tantalizing when it comes to Josh Anderson. The contract sucks.
Yep.
So,
could you make a move where potentially... Because here the reality is Montreal's rebuilding.
Frank said that Montreal doesn't want to trade him, though, and that it would take an offer that blows their socks off to get it done. So if that's what scares me, because I'm all of a sudden having flashbacks to last year when it was like, hey, the Oilers like Duncan Keith, and we were all like, oh, yeah, like, fine, but the contract sucks, so, like, don't overpay, like, make sure they keep money. And then the Oilers both overpaid and they didn't keep money. And I worry with Anderson, we're all sitting here being like, oh, Barry for Anderson, like, would you do it? Like, is there another piece to make the money work? Like, how would you figure this out? And I'm worried it's going to be like, oh yeah, the first rounder for Anderson, and we'll all be like, oh my God. Why?
What about a guy who says he does not want to do a rebuild for Montreal, Brendan Gallagher?
The contract too, right?
Yep.
And
6.5 over until 26, 27.
That's too long for me. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying no to Josh Anderson.
And it's a soft J, I believe.
Josh Anderson?
Yep.
I'm not saying no to Josh Anderson. I think there is a deal that would make sense out there somewhere. It probably involves Barry going back the other way. Like, would you say no to Barry and Fogle for Anderson?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm scared by Josh Anderson because it just feels like Milan Lucic 2.0. Like, that's my concern. Like, it's a big ticket for a long time for a guy who's been very inconsistent and hurt a lot in his NHL career. I think there's a player there. I don't disagree with it. But unless Montreal magically can retain a bunch of his salary, I'm really not all that interested in it.
If Montreal was like, we'll keep $1 million and match both contracts with Barry and Anderson,
yeah.
Would you do that one for one?
I don't think they will, though.
Not even, what are you really...
And the other thing, too, with Lucic is, like, his deal's going to expire when he's 35, right? And I get the 33, 34-year-old seasons haven't been good for him either, but, like, at least Anderson's only 28, so, like, you might be getting some good years out of him still.
Yeah, but Lucic was, what, 29 when he signed in Edmonton? 28 when he signed in Edmonton?
He would have been...
Like, he was right in that
29,
age range.
yeah.
And we know how...
But you got a good year out of him.
Oh, yeah, for
you
sure.
got one good year out of him.
One good year. So maybe you get 2 or 3 good years out of Anderson, then the deal sucks. And, yeah, I guess that's a good reason to stay away.
The Oilers need offense. Yes, they've got guys that can score, but they are one injury away from not having as many guys that can score, is the reality of it.